DC Young Fly just bought a $2 million mansion in Georgia, but you won't believe the shocking reason why he needs this house right now. The comedian who makes everyone laugh is secretly going through the hardest time of his life, and this mansion isn't just about showing off his money. What's Sal? 3 kids, 1 heartbroken father, and a story that will make you understand why this house means everything to him. Stay with me because I'm about to show you inside DC Young Fly's real world, his cars, his money, and the truth about what happened to his family that changed everything. Hit that subscribe button right now because this story gets more surprising every single minute, and you don't want to miss what I found out about his secret life. Before we talk about his mansion and cars, you need to know who DC Young Fly really is behind all the fame and money. His real name is John Whitfield, and he grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, in a place called Zone 6. This wasn't a rich neighborhood with big houses and fancy cars. This was where people worked hard just to pay for food and rent. DC's mom worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, just to keep the lights on in their small apartment. There were nights when dinner was whatever they could afford from the dollar store, and Christmas presents came from yard sales and second-hand shops. But here's something amazing about DC Young Fly: even when life was hard, he could make people laugh. In school, teachers would get mad at him for making jokes, but his classmates loved him. He learned that when you can make someone smile, even for a few seconds, you can make their problems disappear. This wasn't just a hobby for him, this was survival. When kids made fun of his old shoes or his clothes from thrift stores, he would tell a joke so funny that everyone forgot what they were laughing about. He turned his pain into power, and that's something not many people can do. When DC was a teenager, he started making videos on an app called Vine. Most people thought Vine was just for fun, but DC saw it differently. He saw it as his chance to show the world what he could do. Every day after school, instead of hanging out with friends or playing video games, he would think of new jokes, film short videos and post them online. Some videos got 10 views, some got 100, but he never stopped. He knew that somewhere out there people needed to laugh, and he was going to be the one to make them laugh. The big break came when Nick Cannon saw his videos and invited him to be on a show called Wild 'N Out. This was huge because Wild 'N Out was on TV, and millions of people watched it every week. But being on TV wasn't easy. DC had to compete with comedians who had been doing this for years, people who went to fancy comedy schools and performed in big theaters. But DC had something they didn't have. He had real stories from real life, and when you've lived through struggle, your jokes come from a place that touches people's hearts. Now let's talk about his money, because this is where things get really interesting. DC Young Fly is worth about $8 million today, but he didn't get this money from just one place. Smart rich people know that you can't depend on just one job, even if that job pays well. DC makes money from comedy shows where he performs live in front of thousands of people. He charges between $50,000 and $100,000 for one show. He also makes money from acting in movies like Almost Christmas and TV shows. Then there's his music. Yes, DC Young Fly also makes rap songs, and they're actually pretty good. But here's what most people don't know. DC Young Fly is smart with his money. He doesn't just spend it on expensive things to show off. He invests in real estate, which means he buys houses and buildings that make him more money over time. He owns several properties in Atlanta, and since Atlanta is growing fast, these properties keep getting more valuable. He also has a production company that creates content for other comedians and entertainers. This means he's not just performing, he's helping other people get famous too, and he makes money from their success. The reason DC Young Fly needed that $2 million mansion becomes clear when you understand his family situation. He has 3 beautiful children, Nova, Nala, and Prince. These kids meant everything to him, but their mother, Miss Jacky Oh died unexpectedly. This wasn't just sad. This was devastating. Imagine being a father who travels for work, performs in different cities, and suddenly you're the only parent your 3 kids have. Everything changed in one day. Miss Jacky Oh wasn't just the mother of his children. She was his partner in life, his support system, and the person who took care of the kids when he was working. When she died, DC Young Fly had to completely change how he lived. He couldn't travel as much. He couldn't stay out late working on projects. He had to become mom and dad at the same time, and that's not easy for anyone, even someone with millions of dollars. This is why the mansion matters so much. It's not about showing off or having the biggest house in the neighborhood. This house is DC Young Fly's way of giving his children stability when their whole world got turned upside down. When you lose your mother as a child, everything feels scary and uncertain. But when your father builds you a fortress where you're safe, loved and protected, that helps heal some of the pain. The mansion sits on 5 acres in one of Atlanta's best neighborhoods. 5 acres means his kids can play outside without worrying about traffic or strangers. The house has 8 bedrooms, which means each child has their own space to be themselves, plus guest rooms for family and friends who help take care of the kids. There are 10 bathrooms, a huge kitchen where DC can cook for his family, and living rooms big enough for the whole extended family to gather during holidays and special occasions. But the coolest parts of this house are the things DC built specifically for his children and his work. There's a movie theater with reclining seats and a popcorn machine, just like a real cinema. Imagine being able to watch any movie you want with your family without leaving your house. There's also a game room with every video game system you can think of, pool tables and arcade games. DC Young Fly remembers what it was like to be a kid who couldn't afford to go to arcades or movie theaters, so he brought those experiences home for his children. For his work, there's a professional recording studio where DC can film content, record music, and do interviews without leaving his kids. This is important because single fathers can't just leave their children with babysitters all the time. Having a studio at home means he can work and still be there when his kids get home from school, when they need help with homework, or when they just want to spend time with their dad. The house also has a gym, because staying healthy is important when you're responsible for 3 children by yourself. There's a swimming pool with safety features designed for kids, outdoor areas for barbecues and family gatherings, and gardens where the children can learn about growing plants and taking care of living things. Security is a big deal in this house, but not in a scary way. DC Young Fly is famous, which means there are always people who want to know where he lives and what he's doing. But now he's not just protecting himself, he's protecting 3 children who have already been through too much. The house has cameras, alarm systems and security guards, but they're all designed to keep the family safe without making the kids feel like they're living in a prison. Now let's talk about DC Young Fly's car collection, because it tells a story about who he is as a person. He owns about 15 cars, and they're worth more than $2 million total. But here's what's interesting, some of his cars are super expensive and flashy, but others are practical family cars designed to keep his children safe. The expensive cars include a Lamborghini Urus, which costs about $200,000. This isn't just a sports car, it's an SUV that can go really fast, but also has room for his whole family. He also has a Mercedes Maybach S-Class, which is like a living room on wheels. This car costs about $150,000, and has massage seats, a refrigerator and screens for entertainment. When DC has to drive long distances for work, this car makes the trip comfortable. But the cars that really show who DC Young Fly is as a father are the safe, practical ones. He has multiple SUVs with the highest safety ratings, Cars chosen not because they look cool, but because they protect his children in case of an accident. He has a bulletproof car for times when security is extra important. He also has electric cars because he wants his children to grow up in a cleaner world. One of his favorite cars is a classic Chevrolet Impala that he customized himself. This car isn't the most expensive or the fastest, but it connects him to his roots in Atlanta and the car culture that influenced him growing up. When he drives this car, it reminds him where he came from and why he works so hard. Living this lifestyle isn't as easy as it looks on social media. DC Young Fly's day starts early because he has to get 3 kids ready for school. That means making breakfast, checking homework, making sure everyone has clean clothes, and driving them to school in one of his safe SUVs. After school, there's homework time, dinner to cook, and bedtime routines. This is the same stuff every parent does, but DC is doing it while also managing a multi-million-dollar career. His work schedule has completely changed since becoming a single father. Before he could travel anywhere for shows, stay out late recording music, or spend weeks filming movies. Now every decision has to consider his children first. He turns down jobs that would take him away from home too long. He schedules recording sessions during school hours, so he's available when his kids get home. He brings his children with him to work sometimes, which means his sets have to be family-friendly. The financial pressure is enormous, but not in the way most people think. Yes, maintaining a $2 million house, 15 cars, and a luxury lifestyle costs a lot of money. But the real pressure comes from knowing that 3 children depend on him completely. He has to save for their college education, plan for their future, and make sure they'll be financially secure even if something happens to him. This means investing wisely, buying life insurance, and working with financial advisors to protect his family's future. DC Young Fly also supports extended family members, which is common for successful people from poor backgrounds. When you make it out of poverty, you often become the person everyone else depends on. He helps pay for family members' medical bills, rent, and emergency expenses. This is a responsibility he takes seriously, because he remembers what it was like to need help, and not have anyone who could provide it. The emotional challenges of his situation are probably the hardest part. Losing the mother of your children, while trying to maintain a public career that requires you to be funny and entertaining, is incredibly difficult. There are days when DC doesn't feel like making anyone laugh because he's dealing with his own sadness and grief. But he has to keep working because millions of people depend on him for entertainment, and his children depend on him for everything. This is where the mansion becomes more than just a house, it's a healing place. There are quiet rooms where difficult conversations can happen, spaces designed for family therapy sessions, and areas where good memories can be created and celebrated. DC Young Fly understands that his children are processing loss while trying to have normal childhoods, and every part of this house is designed to support that process. His relationship with the Atlanta community remains strong, and he uses his success to help others. The mansion hosts charity events, fundraisers for local schools, and mentorship programs for young comedians. DC Young Fly regularly speaks at schools in his old neighborhood, showing kids that success is possible no matter where you start. He provides scholarships for students who want to pursue entertainment careers and funds programs that teach young people about financial literacy and business skills. The business side of DC Young Fly's life operates from his home office, which is equipped with professional cameras, lighting, and sound equipment. His team includes managers, assistants, financial advisors, and creative professionals who help him maintain his various income streams. He has a production company that develops content for streaming platforms, a merchandise line that sells everything from t-shirts to comedy albums, and investment partnerships with other entertainers and business people. What makes DC Young Fly different from other celebrities is how he handles his money. Most famous people spend everything they make on cars, jewelry and parties. But DC learned from watching other entertainers go broke after making millions. He puts 60% of his earnings into savings and investments. He owns stock in major companies like Apple, Netflix and Amazon. He also invested early in cryptocurrency and made huge profits when Bitcoin went up in value. His real estate portfolio extends far beyond his Georgia mansion. He owns rental properties in Atlanta that generate passive income every month. These aren't just regular apartments. He bought buildings in neighborhoods that were getting better, so now they're worth 3 times what he paid. He also owns commercial properties, where businesses pay him rent to operate. This means even when he's not performing or making content, money is still coming in from his investments. The comedy business has changed a lot since DC started, and he's adapted better than most comedians. Social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram and YouTube pay creators based on views and engagement. DC Young Fly posts content regularly and makes thousands of dollars per post from brand partnerships and platform revenue sharing. His TikTok videos regularly get millions of views, and each viral video can earn him between $10,000 and $50,000 depending on the sponsorship deals attached. His merchandise business is more successful than people realize. Fans buy his t-shirts, hoodies, comedy albums, and accessories. The profit margins on merchandise are huge. A t-shirt that costs $5 to make sells for $25, with hundreds of thousands of fans. Even if only 1% buy merchandise, that's thousands of sales per month. He also sells digital products like comedy specials and behind-the-scenes content that cost nothing to reproduce but generate pure profit. Looking toward the future, DC Young Fly has big plans that go beyond his own success. He's developing a comedy school in Atlanta that will teach young people not just how to be funny, but how to build careers in entertainment. This isn't just about giving back mix, it's also a business opportunity. Comedy schools can charge thousands of dollars per student, and successful graduates often sign with DC's production company, creating another revenue stream. He's investing in local businesses that provide jobs in his community, but he's also smart about choosing businesses that will make him money. He invested in several Atlanta restaurants that are now extremely popular. He owns part of a car dealership that specializes in luxury vehicles. He also invested in a recording studio that other Atlanta artists rent for their projects. Every investment serves 2 purposes: helping his community and increasing his wealth. DC is also working on a foundation that helps single fathers navigate the challenges of raising children alone while pursuing their careers. This foundation will provide resources, counseling, and financial assistance to fathers in similar situations. While this is charitable work, it also enhances his public image and provides tax benefits that save him money. His children's education is a top priority, and the mansion includes spaces designed specifically for learning. There's a library filled with books chosen to inspire creativity and critical thinking. There's a computer room with the latest technology for online learning and creative projects. There are music rooms where the kids can explore their artistic talents if they choose to. DC Young Fly wants his children to have every opportunity he didn't have, but he also wants them to stay grounded and understand the value of hard work. The kids attend private schools that cost $30,000 per year each. This might seem expensive, but DC views education as an investment in his children's future. These schools provide small class sizes, individual attention and connections to successful families. The networking opportunities alone are worth the tuition, because relationships built in childhood often last a lifetime and create business opportunities later. Each child also has private tutors for subjects they struggle with and coaches for activities they excel in. Nova is interested in dance and has a professional choreographer who comes to the house twice a week. Nala loves art and has an art teacher who helps her develop her skills. Prince is athletic and has trainers who work with him on different sports. These investments in his children's talents could lead to scholarships, professional opportunities, or simply help them become well-rounded individuals. The family's lifestyle includes experiences that money can't buy for most people. They take private jet trips to Disney World, avoiding crowds and long lines. They have VIP access to concerts, sporting events and premieres. During summer breaks, they travel to different countries, staying in luxury resorts, and experiencing different cultures. These aren't just vacations, they're educational experiences that broaden the children's perspectives and create memories that will last forever. DC Young Fly's daily schedule shows how he balances being a father with maintaining his career. He wakes up at 6 in the morning to exercise in his home gym before the kids get up. Exercise keeps him mentally sharp and physically healthy, which is important when you're responsible for 3 children. By 7, he's making breakfast and getting the kids ready for school. He drives them personally most days because these car rides are precious time to talk and connect. After dropping the kids at school, he returns home to work in his studio. He might record podcasts, film content for social media, work on comedy material, or handle business calls. Having the studio at home saves hours of commute time that he can spend with his family. Lunch breaks often involve planning family activities, reviewing his children's school progress, or coordinating with household staff. When the kids come home from school, DC stops working to focus on them. Homework time is sacred. He sits with each child to help with their assignments and understand what they're learning. This isn't just about grades, it's about showing his children that education matters and that he's invested in their success. Dinner is usually cooked by DC himself because he wants his kids to have home-cooked meals and family time around the table. Evenings might include family movie nights in their home theater, games in the game room, or outdoor activities if the weather is nice. Bedtime routines involve reading stories, talking about the day, and making sure each child feels loved and secure. This routine might seem simple, but maintaining it while managing a multi-million-dollar career requires incredible discipline and organization. Weekend schedules are more flexible, but equally important. Saturdays might involve taking the kids to their various activities, dance classes, art lessons, sports practice, or social events with friends. DC makes sure his children have normal childhood experiences despite their unusual circumstances. They attend birthday parties, have playdates, and participate in school activities just like other kids. Sundays are often family days focused on rest, reflection, and preparation for the upcoming week. They might attend church, have extended family over for dinner, or simply spend quiet time together. DC uses these moments to talk with his children about important topics, share family history, and instill values that will guide them throughout their lives. The daily reality of life in this mansion involves the beautiful chaos of raising 3 children while managing the entertainment empire. There are school plays to attend in luxury vehicles, birthday parties thrown in rooms that rival event halls, and family vacations planned around school schedules and work commitments. But there are also quiet moments, bedtime stories in bedrooms most people only see in magazines, family dinners around a table where love matters more than the expensive dishes, and conversations where a father helps his children understand a world that doesn't always make sense. DC Young Fly's story represents something powerful about the American dream and what's possible when talent meets determination and tragedy meets resilience. From the Atlanta neighborhoods, where he learned to turn pain into punchlines, to the mansion, where he's raising the next generation, his journey shows that success isn't just about making money or becoming famous. It's about using your blessings to protect and provide for the people you love most. His car collection might impress people who love luxury vehicles. His mansion might inspire people who dream of success, and his net worth might motivate aspiring entertainers. But his greatest achievement is visible in the stability he's created for his 3 children, and the way he's transformed personal tragedy into a foundation for their future success and happiness. You've just witnessed one of the most inspiring stories in entertainment. A man who turned childhood poverty into multi-million-dollar success, who transformed personal loss into a mission to protect and provide for his children, and who uses his platform to lift up his community while building a legacy that goes far beyond comedy. If this story moved you, smash that like button right now, because stories like this need to be shared. Subscribe and hit that bell icon, because I've got more incredible stories about the real lives behind the fame, the struggles behind the success, and the humans behind the headlines. Drop a comment and tell me whose story you want to hear next. And don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to hear about resilience, determination, and what it really means to turn your pain into your power. Until next time, remember that your current situation doesn't determine your final destination. Keep grinding, keep believing, and keep building your own empire.